Well, hello, friends. Hey, we're doing something fun today. Since I've got a new fish room I'm building, I am going to paint a couple backgrounds of some of the tanks I'm putting in there. So I've got a 20-gallon long tank behind me I'm going to paint. Instead of painting it the normal black or a blue or just leaving it unpainted, there's a couple other things I've done in the past, window tinting and all kind of stuff. Well, I'm going to try something a little different. I've done this years ago, probably 10, 15 years ago, for an aquarium tanks, where we used to take aquariums out to show people off snakes and things like that. So to make the backgrounds a little interesting, we would paint the backgrounds. We only did this a couple times. We found all kind of different things we were playing around with. But I never tried this color. It was always kind of a green, and there was another color we used. I don't think we tried this. I'm going to try to spray the outside of this aquarium with this stuff and see how it works out. If I remember right, it was kind of weird when you sprayed it on there. It didn't go on very good. It didn't sound like it was going to stick, but it ended up working fine. You just got to put multiple coats on. So tonight we're going to try with one coat. So hang on. Okay, so this is the aquarium we're going to paint. Yeah, there's some stuff, looks like it's on the back of it, but that's actually the bottom, and it's on the outside. This was given to me, and it was used as a reptile cage, and somebody stuck a heater on the bottom of it. So this is like that stuck on stuff, but it's going to be on the bottom. No one's going to see it. Hey, it's a free tank. What are you going to do? So let's start spraying this and see what it looks like. It looks pretty interesting so far. See how it kind of like when you spray it, smears it everywhere. The first coat, it's not a very good coat, so we're going to go and hit. Make sure we get up there. So, all right. Now we're going to let that dry, and we'll hit it with another coat. Okay, as you can see, it's kind of still see-through. This is kind of what I expected. You do a bunch of light coats. So I think this coat's dry enough. We're kind of experimenting. Hey, remember, I'm just a guy experimenting. So if you follow anything I do, you're on your own. Because I may be absolutely crazy. Oh, wait, I know I am. But, yeah, it's looking pretty good. It'll be really interesting to see what happens. What it looks like when I'm done here. Yeah, so you gotta be careful. If you notice, I don't know if you can tell, but as I'm spraying, it's starting to blow the particles hit and they push the paint underneath of it. So you gotta be real careful how much you put on at first. Just do a bunch of light coats and it works out pretty good. Back a little further, yeah, so that's about as much as heavy as I can put it on. So you can tell, see how it's kind of like there's some spots, if it'll focus. It doesn't want to focus that close, but here, let's try this. Aha. Yeah, see how it kind of makes little holes. And it did it real bad over here. Some gaps. So you gotta wait till it dries and hit it again. We'll see what it looks like. And here we go for another coat. This will be the third coat, and probably the last one for tonight. It's kind of losing my light here. It's starting to get dark. Yeah, so after the third coat, it's starting to look a lot better. I think this is going to look pretty cool on the other side. It'll look totally different on the other side than it does this side. That's the crazy part. I mean, this just doesn't even look anything like what the inside will look like. Well, let's do something. Let's take a look. Take kind of a sneak peek. Now that we've got enough layering on there, I can really kind of put a little more product on it. Layer it up good. Yeah, that's looking great. Let's see if we can look underneath. Yep, not much. Got a lot more to put on there to cover up, keep the light out, huh? Yeah, gotta do another couple coats tomorrow night. Yeah, this isn't too bad. Just blowing it around like it was. Just layer it up a little higher. Okay, now it's pushing a little tiny bit over there. All right, time to stop. No? I think two we might do. Maybe the next time, take and spray, like it'll be a little white, maybe some white lines or some black lines, or just kind of do a little bit of hitting them with different colors, a little bit of, a little black and white or something, I don't know, to maybe kind of make it a little more interesting, make it a little bit more like rock. It's kind of what I'm going for, the effect I'm going for at least, so I'm going to try that. we'll see how this works out. Well, hello friends, it's the next day. I just did it with another light coat right along the top edge, like right up along the edge here. When I was inside, I could see there was light coming through there, so I had to go ahead and hit that again real heavily, and then all of a sudden it looks like we got a little bit of, not bad weather, but definitely clouded up, and on the radar it looks like it might be stuff heading this way. It kind of popped out of nowhere. So we're going to hope for the best here. Let's just dry a little bit and hurry up and take it inside. I think you're going to like it. I'm not sure if I like it or not. We'll have to take all the masking off and kind of set it up and see what it looks like. Looks interesting. Let's see what it looks like from the inside. If we can kind of peek through. You can't see anything. Can't tell what it looks like. Okay. Well, this is what the background looks like with a little bit of sand in there. It's actually not so bad. Wish you could see it the way I see it because it's distorting a little bit on the camera. But I don't know. This might actually be pretty cool once I put some, some plants in here. Might give it some depth. Let's see. Well, this is what the tank looks like after it's been painted. Yeah, I put a lot of floating plants in there just to kind of see what that would look like too. As you can see, I've got a bunch of wet clouds. I got one Gambusia. He's right there. He was in there first just to make sure everything would cycled right and there was nothing going on, because I did play around with some interesting substrate. Gambusia, my experience, are very peaceful, just like guppies. I've had absolutely no problems with them, even with these small white clouds. Everything I've heard is, man, they'll just shred everything. They're just mean and evil, but not in my not from my standpoint. I've never had a problem. I have hundreds of Gambusia. I've stuck them with all different types of fish, even guppies and all kind of things, and never a problem with them. Extremely placid. So maybe it's just the ones I have here. I have the Western Gambusia. I'm kind of in northeast Texas, already northeast, kind of Dallas-Fort Worth area. So yeah, everything's looking good. I'm going to paint the back of that in place with some black acrylic paint. I think it's going to give it a little more depth, especially right here at the top. So if you look kind of right in this area here, yeah, doesn't look very thick. You can actually see light through it. I don't know if that shows up on the video or not, but I think if I hit it with black on the back, that's going to really give it some depth. So yeah, I threw a couple rocks in there. They don't even really fit. They just need to go into a tank. They were sitting in a box going, these need to go in water. I don't know if I like those, but we'll see what happens. All right, well, let's see what happens after I paint it. I think it's going to be kind of cool. Okay, so real quickly, this is the paint I'm going to use. I'm going to use a small little foam roller to put it on while it's in place. There shouldn't be any kind of problems. This stuff doesn't have a lot of fumes or anything like that. So I think this will be just fine. It's weird I won't really focus on that. But anyhow, that's what I'm going to use. Let's see what happens. Well, I haven't given an update on the final look of this tank in the background. I think it looks actually pretty cool. It's not bad at all. I did a better job on a different setup, but yeah, this is not bad. Of course, I'm not an aquascaping professional. I just threw some plants in here, and all the plants seem to be doing really well too. I did a trick with the soil. I'll have to do another video on exactly how I did my soil, but it seems to be working really well. I never had an algae bloom. I never even got the brown algae, and it's been well over a month that I've had this tank up and running. So I'm pretty impressed with the soil, but I'll do another video on that. It's kind of complicated, but hey, hope you liked it. Let me know what you say. Let me know what you think. Thanks.